But this gentleman wanted to know, how can he revive his hair? He's thinning, and he wants to know how to revive his hair. Do I have anything? I was thinning in here in this area. I was thinning. In fact, one of the things that you can do is on my site at Black Men's Grooming Den, there's a product called Frederick Benjamin. And it's a great product. It has spearmint in it, hemp seed oil, and some other ingredients. I can't call it off the top of my head, but some other ingredients. You're gonna like it. You're gonna enjoy it. It doesn't have any of those bad chemicals that would have an adverse effect on your hair. Another thing I would say is your barber. Don't get a lineup. If you don't want your hair to thin, if you don't want your hair to be going back, then you just gonna have to don't get a lineup, or just don't get a lineup as often as you are getting lineups. Because what ends up happening is your barber, and there's no knock on any barbers out there, because there's a lot of great barbers who are doing a fascinating, phenomenal job, and they're really, really great at what they do, and they may have a workaround with this. But for now, what happens is your line keeps going back because your barber keeps taking your line back. So your hair is not growing, because anytime you take a blade, a razor blade, you're basically cutting into your skin, which then thus exposes your hair follicles. Then on top of that, you put alcohol. You compound the situation. Then you put alcohol on top of it, and that's why it's burning. So you compound it, you dehydrate it, and we have very small capillaries here. Around here, we have our capillaries are bigger, so we get a lot more nutrients. That's why when people go bald, they typically have, in this area, they go bald because the capillaries are small, versus around here, it's a lot larger. So when you put alcohol on top of the fact that you just got that lineup, it compounds the situation where it dries your follicles, and it damages your capillaries. So that's why I say do not use any alcohol. If you want to use something, have your barber use witch hazel. I tell my barber all the time, I bring my witch hazel with me and say, yo, this is what I want to use. I don't want to use no alcohol, only witch hazel. So that's an alternative. The third thing that you want to do is that stop wearing hats. Stop wearing hats. Stop wearing hats. We gotta stop wearing hats. And let me not say stop wearing hats, because that's kind of extreme. Reduce the amount of days you wear hats, because some people wear hats every single day. So reduce the amount of days you're wearing hats. And what happens is, like, your hair needs oxygen. It needs light. These are the things that it needs. And if you got a hat on your head all day, it's not getting any of that. It's cut off from all resources. So it will not be able to grow the way it needs to grow. Oh, and then a bonus is you got to reduce your stress level. Reducing your stress level will help open up your blood vessels. But if you are stressing, it's going to constrict your blood vessels, and then you just basically cutting off the nutrients that's trying to get to your follicles as well. So that's another thing that you can do in terms of reviving your hair. And then just get a routine, get a hair routine. I did a video on that, where you have a hair routine where you're conditioning it, you're washing it, you're moisturizing it. You're doing the detox clay. If you're doing it for your beard, do it for your hair, do it for your skin. That's going to help as well. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. So with that said, let's open up the floor for some questions, because that's the balding. That's a huge issue for us, man. That a stunt on our confidence. Real talk. So if you are suffering from that thinning, you're going to have to make a choice. Like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get a line, or you're going to have to get a soft line, and don't use any alcohol. So those are the things that you can do.